Hey, this is Tim, licensed loan advisor. Welcome to the channel. Today on this video, we're going to talk about what is going on with the housing.
Oh, hell no!
Thank you so much for watching. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. So today we're going to talk about what is going on with the housing market. This is going to be kind of an updated video with the market and kind of what's going on. And I'm going to give you guys some tips and things like that. Now, before we get started, I want to let you know that if you're in the market to buy a home, I can help you get pre-approved.
Hell yeah!
Also, if you already own a home and maybe you want to refinance or know anyone that's looking to refinance, I can also help them. So reach out to me. I'm going to get my contact information below, so you can always reach out to me. But all right, let's get into the video. All right. So what is going on with the housing market? Now, I kind of wanted to title this, what the heck is going on with the housing market? But that's not appropriate. So today's agenda and what we're going to talk about in this video is just some common buyers' concerns, okay? I know some of you guys have some concerns. We're going to go over mortgage rates. I know you guys want to know about the rates. People are always asking about the rates. We're going to talk about home prices. I know that's always a big topic, rates and home prices. We'll go over the mortgage process. Believe me, I talked to a lot of home buyers that still don't fully understand the whole process and are a little confused. So we'll briefly go over that. I'll go over some mortgage data, just some information about trends and just some helpful information. And then I'll talk about what you can do. We'll wrap it all up, okay? So let's get into it. So these are some common home buyers' concerns. And the first one is mortgage rates. Everybody's worried about rates. Like what is the rate, whether they can afford to buy a home with this market, and they're really concerned about mortgage rates. Another concern is home prices. People are concerned about home prices. And another concern is the mortgage process. So these are the biggest concerns. And I want to let you know that as for rates, you can't control the interest rates, okay? And understand rates go up and down. And unfortunately, right now, we are in a higher interest rate market. Now, remember, I always say this, it's not high historically. Like the average interest rate over the last 50 years is 6%. They just seem high, okay? Credit card interest rates are high, like 25 to 30%. They're really not that high. Now, home prices, the good news is they're starting to decline a little bit. They kind of hit their peak and they were declining. For a little while, we saw rising interest rates and rising home prices. So the good news is that the housing market is cooling off. I've been seeing home prices kind of come down a little bit. So that means it'll be more affordable, okay? Now, normally when interest rates go up, home prices come down because people have less buying power because the interest rates are higher, give them a higher payment, so they buy less. So now we're starting to get back into more of a normal market. And then the mortgage process, we'll go more into that. In a later slide, I'll talk a little bit about the mortgage process. But basically, you want to know the process because buying a home is your biggest purchase. And if you don't understand the process and what's next, you get kind of nervous. And I want this to be a good experience. A lot of people say buying a home was really nerve-wracking and things like that. And if you understand the process, it makes it a lot easier for you. So right now, as I'm recording this, it's funny, I'm recording this February 19th. I probably won't post this until later on because I got to edit the video and things like that. But right now, these are kind of where mortgage rates are. So these are a conventional. Conventional is a private mortgage like Fannie and Freddie. Conventional around 7%. Now remember, you can pay a little bit of discount points. Discount points means you pay a little extra money at your closing table or at the, when you buy the home, you pay a little extra cost, but you lock in a lower rate over 30 years. These are without points. So a 15-year conventional, like a 6.45, a jumbo loan. A jumbo loan just means it's over the county limit. They're not very common, but a jumbo loan 7.33. I never understood why jumbo loans have higher interest rates than regular conforming loans, but that's just how it is. An ARM is basically the first 7 years, you have a locked rate. Then after that, it will adjust. So it really doesn't make sense to get an ARM because right now you might as well just get a fixed rate where you don't have to have anything. And then FHA, very popular, a 6.45 is a government-backed loan, and VA is a government-backed loan, about 6.46. Now, most of the time, if you buy a home, you're not going to get a 6.45. It'll be probably a 6.25. They move in like 1/8 of a point, a 6.125. You get it? A 6.5, or a 6.625. That's how most rates win. But these are just the average rates, okay? And this is kind of a kind of where we went. Like right here, we're kind of record low, right here for a little while, a refi boom. And then they just kind of tip up, and then it kind of goes up and down. But don't really focus on rates. Like I said, you can't focus on the rate because you can't control the rate. Focus on the payment. Can you afford the payment, okay? But it's good to know what interest rates are, and you should do a little bit of rate shopping. And what I mean by that is talk to 2 or 3 lenders. I'd say 1 or 2. Maybe your bank where you're checking a savings account, and maybe an online lender or a local lender and a national lender. So talk to a couple lenders, maybe talk to me, see my rate, and that way you can get the best rate. So on average, you do save a little bit of money either by closing costs or a little bit lower payment by shopping around. So next, let's talk about home prices, okay? So this is from Redfin. Redfin is like Zillow or Realtor.com. It's like an online site, but they do collect data. As of December 2024, the median sale price of a home in the U.S. is $427,430, and this is up 6.2 year over year. Like I said, they are trending down, but they were trending like 6% up, but now they're cooling off. You can see that on Zillow right now, but that's the average home price. Now take that with a grain of salt. There are areas like New York or Boston or California where home prices are really like on the high end, and it boosts up the average. So check on Zillow and check where you are and see what you see in your area. Type in a zip code and see. But that's the average over all 50 states. Now, the Federal Reserve of St. Louis said the median home price in the U.S. is $419 as of Q4. So as you see, the Federal Reserve has a little bit lower, $419. So it depends on where they get their data from. And then this is Zillow. So the Zillow says the average home price is $356, up 2.6% over the past year. So it depends on where you get it. But generally speaking, home prices were trending up. Like I said, they're cooling off and coming down. It's good to know what the average home price is to kind of get an idea. But like I said, take it for a grain of salt because every city, market, and state's a little bit different. Now, let's talk about the mortgage process. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I have other videos about the mortgage process, but it's good to know. The first step you want to do is determine your readiness. What that means is kind of looking at your situation. Do you have a stable job? Have you been at your job for 2 years? Do you have a little bit of money saved in the bank for your down payment? Do you have a 401k for your down payment? Can you get a gift? Are you ready to take on the responsibility of home ownership? So determining your readiness, review your credit and debt. Like, can you pay off a couple of things and bump your credit score? Because if you get your credit up a little bit higher, you might get a little bit lower interest rate. And then you do want to get pre-approved or pre-qualified. So basically, if you determine your readiness, you feel comfortable, you have a steady job, you got a little bit of money, and you're ready, you're really ready to do that, the next step will be to get pre-approved or pre-qualified. And that's when you contact a lender. Like I said, you can contact me. I'll help you get pre-approved, or any local lender. You just say, hey, they're going to pull your credit. They're going to ask for your pay stubs and W-2s or your tax returns or 1099s, and they're going to get you pre-approved. Pre-approved just means that the lender reviewed your income, credit, and everything, and they're going to give you a letter saying you can afford X loan amount. And then you go, get a realtor and go shopping. Yep, next. Then you want to find a realtor and go home shopping. Now, this is where you spend the bulk of your time, honestly. Determining your readiness really is kind of personal. Some people can do it in a couple of days, 1 day. If you've been thinking about this a long time, pre-qualify usually takes a couple of days. Usually you fill out an application, and then you submit your document. That could take a couple of days. And then this, you're going to spend about, I would depend on your market, maybe 20 days, 30 days, 3 months. It depends on, your market to find a home. And then after you find that home with your realtor, you put in an offer. Your realtor is going to recommend, I think you can get this home for X amount because it's been on the market, or this home is really nice and it's probably going to go for that. Trust your realtor, but at the end of the day, you decide what you're willing to pay. So you put in an offer, and then if they accept your offer, it's like, woohoo! Then you go back to that lender that gave you the pre-approval and finish up your financing. Or you can contact a couple more lenders. You have a couple more days to do that. Maybe before you do your inspection or your appraisal, contact a couple of the lenders and try to get a quote and see if you can get a little bit lower rate. But you want to finish up your financing and close on the home. Now, I did oversimplify this. It may be a few more steps, but that's kind of a 20-foot overview of the home process. It's not that simple. It's not that complicated. So first, decide whether you're ready, get pre-approved, and then find a realtor and go home shopping, and then finish up your financing. If you have questions, comment below. I'd love to answer it for you. Now, here are some mortgage data. Now, I like data. I'm a numbers guy. You may not like data, but here's some mortgage data. So 22% increase of median renters for a 2-bedroom apartment. So renting is kind of up 22%. Now, rent did peak in 2022. And it has kind of flattened and fallen since. And then based on the data, the average medium home price was $420,000. And they say it's near record high, over $100,000 since 2019. Like I said, home prices were going up, and they really peaked because we had a shortage of homes and high interest rates. But now they're coming down a little bit. And then the medium age for someone who's like a first-time home buyer is 38 years old. Now, that is up 5 years since 2019. So most people buy a home when they're 38, and around there, married, mature. You do make a lot more of your money when you get a little bit in your 30s, because usually you get your education or college in your 20s. And after you get into workforce, get a couple promotions, you're working hard, your income goes up a little bit. And then first-time home buyers among all is a new record since 2019. So there's it's 24% first-time home buyers. So that's my market. I like helping first-time home buyers. So here's some more data. Now, this is interesting here. It's saying that the average renter is 42 years old and the average homeowner is 57 years old. Now, I didn't like that because I don't want the average homeowner to be 57, but that's kind of where the data is. And then as you see, females, it's kind of split between men and women there. And then it kind of breaks down the demographics there, which I'm not going to get into. But what I want to point that out is that all homeowners are usually older people. They buy a home, they stay in a home. And if you keep renting, you average renting. Now, here's some more data. Now, I think this data is more helpful. It's showing that the median income for a homeowner is $77,000. Now, I don't know if this is a wife and husband both making $77,000 or household, but that's what it's saying. It's $77,000, and the average renter is $51,000. So what I'm thinking, if you have a little extra income or you make a little bit more, it probably makes homeownership a little more affordable. Now, in 2013, that number was $41,000, and then now it's in 2023 for renters $51,000. So that's interesting here. And then for homeowners, less than 15% make less than $25,000. 25,000 to 49,000 is 17%. 50,000 to 99,000, it's almost 30%, and $100,000 more, 40%. So the more money you make, you're more likely to buy a home. So I just say that just so you can focus on your income, because that makes it more likely probably that you can afford a home and things like that. Now, lastly, I got some more data here. This is the renter medium. This is important because I want to show you why you want to buy a home, why you want to take the steps. So home is like an asset. It's a good way to build wealth. So Homeowners' median net worth is $101,000 more than someone that rent. And a lot of that wealth is due to their home. So this is renters. You see renters here? They don't have a lot of wealth. And these are homeowners. Look at homeowners. Look at that. Homeowners. Nationwide homeowners. So buying a home goes up in value, and it's a good way to transfer wealth to your kids, your offsprings and things like that. So it's a great way. So I know you may not want to go through the mortgage process, the down payment, everything like that, but it's going to save you money because that home's going to go up in value. And you can lock in that same payment. It doesn't go up like rent. So it's important because the net worth of homeowners is $100,000 more than so renters. Let me just read this to you. Renters have an average net worth of $3,100, while homeowners have a net worth by $101,000. So it's a big difference, as you can see here with the graph. Now this is a little bit more positive. What can you do? What can you control? Okay. And some things you can control is take a first-time homebuyer class. Now, I know you may think that you may not buy a home in a year or two. Take it again. It's always good to stay up to date. Keep that in your mind. Keep that as your goal. Another thing you can do is get pre-approved. That's always a good idea. Even though you may not want to buy a home, it's good to have a lender check your credit, submit documents, and get an idea what you can qualify for. You also want to look at down payment assistance programs for your area. Every state has one. And then you may want to consider a construction loan. Okay. A construction loan sometimes may be cheaper than buying a home on the market. You basically come with 10% or maybe 20% down payment, and then you get financed the rest to build the home. And then after you build the home, you refinance it to a 30-year. So sometimes a construction loan could be cheaper than buying an existing home. And that's for places where it's just real expensive. So explore those options. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helps. If you have questions, comment below and let me know. Also, if you like this channel and this video, consider subscribing to this channel. Give me a thumb up too. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again on the next video.